withdraw the remark about another honourable member in this place.
Madam Deputy Speaker, that comment is absolutely a racist comment and call members of Parliament, MPs, what they actually are.
But I'd be willing to make an exception on this one. Butler, you could say, gets a little bit of help here that you would have least have expected. Now this is very interesting indeed. Now after David Lammy, Secretary of State for Justice, made a statement on strengthening prisoner release checks and took questions yesterday in the House of Commons, Labour MP for Brent East, Butler, called for a point of order, and a little bit of a heated debate, you could say, happened between her and the Madam Deputy Speaker, Judith Cummins, over the situation with the racist Sarah Potching.
Madam Deputy Speaker, on Saturday, the member for Runcorn and Helsby said, "It drives me mad when I see adverts full of black people, full of Asian people." The member also said, "It doesn't reflect our society." Madam Deputy Speaker, as the MP for Brent East, one of the most diverse constituencies in the UK, you can be black and brown and be British, so I'm completely offended by that comment. It is a racist comment, Madam Deputy Speaker, and can you imagine the constituents of that MP going to see her knowing that she's a racist? Madam Deputy Speaker.
Sorry for butting in here, but that's where the problem starts. She called Sarah Potching a racist, and let's be honest here, she is really, there's no doubt about that whatsoever. But the Deputy Speaker takes issue on this.
These comments appear to be in breach of MP's Code of Conduct, in particular the 7 Principles of Public Life.
Order. Can the Honourable Lady please reflect on her language and withdraw the remark about another honourable member in this place?
Madam Deputy Speaker, that comment is absolutely a racist comment. And if we cannot call that comment out in this House, that is in breach of the Nolan Principles for MPs. And I want to know, Madam Deputy Speaker, if you can help me in ensuring that...
Order. For clarity's sake, it's the calling of a member of this House a racist.
Madam Deputy Speaker, to say that, let me just quote again what the member for Runcorn and Helsby said. "It drives me mad when I see adverts full of black people and full of Asian people. It doesn't reflect society." Madam Deputy Speaker, that is a racist comment. Yeah. And it is against the Nolan Principles. And how can we ensure that members of Parliament abide by the Nolan Principles?
It's not the comment that the honourable member is referring to. It's the fact that that she called the member a racist that is the issue. If you can please reflect on your remarks of calling a member of this House a racist and stick to the comments being a racist. It may be that she considers that is dancing on the pin of her head, but it's important that we all act with respect and set an example to the country.
Giving me déjà vu. I appreciate that in this House that we are not supposed to be disrespectful and call members of Parliament, MPs, what they actually are.
But I'd be willing to make an exception on this one. But do continue, Dawn.
Ultimately, the comment is a racist comment. It's quite strange that I'm unable to call out the member for being a racist, having made a racist comment.
Order. Please. It's time and time again. Can you please consider withdrawing the comment about a member of this House being a racist?
I don't want to be thrown out of Parliament again. So I will withdraw the fact that I am referring to the Member of Parliament as a racist because of her racist comments.
Has she informed the member for Runcorn and Helsby that she intended to refer to her in the chamber?
I have.
The Chair is not responsible for comments made by individual members outside this place. If the Honourable Member considers there has been a breach of the Code of Conduct, the proper procedure is to complain to the Parliamentary Commissioner for Standards. Point of order, Kim Johnson.
And not only does our racist Sarah Potchin get mad at the sight of black and brown people on TV ads, she's also doing something that's against parliamentary procedure, you could say. Oh dear.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. I have a point of order on the same person, but a different point. I rise in a point of order to raise a matter of both parliamentary courtesy and political accountability. I have been informed that the member for Runcorn and Helsby last week held a political meeting in my Liverpool Riverside constituency with any prior notification to me. I have informed the member that I would be raising this as a point of order. And while there is no formal rule preventing members from visiting other constituencies, it is a fundamental convention of this House that MPs respect the local representation of their colleagues and notify them before seeking to engage with their constituents. They know they're not welcome coming into my constituency stirring hate and division. To ignore this convention of the House is discourteous. To do so in a city like mine with a very long and proud history of diversity is politically provocative. I call on the House to recognise that such actions undermine the norms of mutual respect between members and disregard the rights of constituents to be represented by their elected MP. The people of Liverpool Riverside do not welcome this opportunistic political activity. Does the Deputy Speaker agree with me that this matter requires urgent attention, and can the Deputy Leader of the House reaffirmed their principle that parliamentary conventions and respect for local representation must be upheld by all members?
I thank the Honourable Member for her point of order and for confirming that she has notified the member for Runcorn and Helsby in advance. Mr Speaker has always been clear that members intending to visit another colleague's constituency, except for purely private purposes, must inform colleagues in advance.
Now this is where things get very, very interesting. Dawn Butler, you could say, gets a little bit of help here that you would have least have expected.
Point of order, Simon Hoare.
The Honourable Lady for Brent East is absolutely right to draw the House's attention to the Nolan principles of public life, and they fall within the auspices of my select committee to keep a weather eye on, and of course it's an important anniversary of the Nolan principles this year. Given the fact that it is an important anniversary, and given the fact that the government has pulled together a whole variety of propriety and ethics under one body, might it now not be appropriate for the authorities of this place to reissue to all members what those principles are, that they are as enduring and relevant today as they were when Lord Nolan first penned them, and if we all abided by them fully all of the time, political and public life may be a little better.
I thank the Honourable Member for his point of order. It's a very interesting idea. They are set out in the Code of Conduct, but I'll make sure that Mr Speaker is aware of his comments.
So there you are. Not only had she been called out quite rightly enough for her clearly racist comments, but also not having the courtesy to let her fellow MP know that she was going to visit her constituency to spew her vile racist comments there as well too. Now, granted, there's no written law, but, you know, it's a common courtesy, isn't it? So not only is she being disrespectful as well, she's been incredibly racist over the weekend as well. But well said, Dawn Butler, for calling her out, and I understand why Judith Cummins got all uppity about Dawn Butler calling a fellow MP racist. But I have to say, I don't like it, because if she's going to be making racist comments, then what else are you going to call her other than racist, and a vile one at that as well? But what do you guys think? Let me know down below, and I shall bid you farewell and take care, my friends.